Netflix's live-action Avatar The Last Airbender series is toning down the sexism. We took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there were a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy, says the VA of Katara. Yeah, totally, adds the VA of Sokka. There are things that were redirected, just because it might play a little differently in live action. I want to remind everybody real quick, okay, that the creators of Avatar The Last Airbender left or exited the work of the live action of Avatar The Last Airbender late December because of creative differences, as you can see here. And now seeing this paired with this, it makes a lot of sense why. Because let's also remind everybody, Avatar The Last Airbender, as a series, it aired on Nickelodeon. And for more information for those that are somehow unaware, Nickelodeon is a children's TV broadcasting system. It was a channel for kids to watch cartoons. And, Avatar was made for that. It was made for kids to watch. And somehow, despite that, Netflix thinks it needs to be watered down even more because of that. And that's not even getting into the main big issue of, what the problem is here with them watering it down. But they feel like, oh, it aired on a children's TV broadcasting channel, but we still need to water it down for audiences. And it's like, for one, anyone that's truly a fan of Avatar at this point that watched it is an adult now. At least you're, probably in your 20s. I know there's exceptions, but most people that are, mega fans, the main audience to Avatar is going to be 20 plus. And the fact that they have to water it down for audience, huh? What? But, okay, but let's get into the big point. The big point is that what does this theoretically mean? Well, it showcases that they have no regard, or I guess, respect to the original source, because Sokka being sexist, and hear me out on this, is actually a big part of his character, and it showcased his flaw and how he developed. And what this basically paints here from Netflix doing this is saying that a character can't be flawed. They need to start off perfect, a goody two-shoes. They need to be absolutely perfect, and if you're flawed, you can't be in this era. That's what they're basically saying with this writing. But anyways, let's get into why this is really bad and why the internet is currently grilling Netflix for this. Well, the reason for that is, honestly, it's pretty simple. This scene in particular is very important, where Sokka comes in and he realizes, how sexist and how much of a jerk he's been within the story. He goes into this tribe and asks for forgiveness. And you know what? I'm gonna let the clip just explain, to you all. You can just look for yourself.
I would be honored if you would teach me.
Even if I'm a girl?
I'm sorry if I insulted you earlier.
This right here is very important. It's one of the moments within the show that showcases Sokka's character development. That as an individual, he realized his viewpoint and how sexist he was wrong. He had a very wrong outlook on the world, and he grew as a person, which made people love Sokka's character after this, because people grew to respect him. Seeing a person go from very shallow or someone with just a very narrow viewpoint that was really awful into someone that was more open-minded was a very wonderful experience, and it taught a very powerful lesson of kids watching this show. I know it did for me. And so when you see how they're removing this element, it's basically saying they're gutting Sokka's character arc completely. The very big aspect of his character that also drove Katara to be a bender in the first place is gone. It's just like, why? Why would you do that? It just completely disregards his very character, and now it makes a lot of sense why the creators of Avatar The Last Airbender left thanks to creative differences, because I know for a fact when they were on the table, they did not want that. They were not happy with the changes to Sokka's character. And this is just Sokka's character. Imagine the other characters within the story that they're potentially going to change. Now, back into the other facts, though. Let's get into this. So, I don't know why Netflix has, the audacity to continue doing this to beloved shows, and it's not just Netflix, but it's honestly a bunch of Western media does this, and it really sickens me. It's like they get these shows, they're like, they're very popular, so let's remaster them, or let's remake them, or, make them into a live action, whatever, and let's just gut everything that was what really made the show, why it was good in the first place, why it taught life lessons, like Sokka being sexist taught a life lesson not to be sexist. That was literally the point of his character, and they're gutting all these things within these different shows, and I don't understand this. It's kind of very reminiscent of, the Witcher series. If anyone remembers, Geralt's, actor, was very upset that, Netflix was completely disregarding the source material, and people were having, problems with the actual actor of Geralt because of that. And it's like, of course, he loves the source. He wants to respect the source material. Of course, he's very passionate about it. He wants it done right. And it's just like, I don't know why these companies want to just destroy beloved works. I don't know why they do it. It really just blows my freaking mind how they continuously do this. And it just makes, once again, One Piece's live action more of a standout note in Netflix's catalog of live action. Because, like, honestly, I'm starting to really believe what I talked about, that if it wasn't for Oda being heavily involved in the One Piece live action, I'm willing to bet you that live action One Piece would have been absolutely hot garbage. Garbage, straight up. It would have been horrendous. Because imagine, if they're putting something like this with life lessons with, like, Sokka, imagine them changing things for One Piece because they're deemed problematic. And with that being said, though, it's just like, I don't know why these companies just have the gall and the audacity to continuously ruin beloved shows that people hold special within their hearts, because Avatar's influence is very important. I'm not like what you would call a mega fan of Avatar, but I can respect its influence. And even if someone that probably doesn't watch it or hasn't seen the show can respect its influence. It has a very big impact, at least in culture, especially for the style of show. It's constantly referenced. You see memes about it, like earth, water, fire, all that type of stuff. Like, you just, you see these references, these memes. It is something that people talk about even to this day, after many, many years since Avatar The Last Airbender came out. People still talk about the show. And it's just like, I don't know why Netflix has the audacity to ruin it when their main audience are the original fans. It doesn't need to be watered down. They're adults now. They grew up with the original show. It boils my blood, man. It just gets me so upset seeing this type of stuff. Just more and more shows just continuously ruined, like The Witcher, this, even Halo. Oh, I know this isn't an anime-related video, but when I saw this, I got really upset, and it's just been swirling in my head, and I was just like, I gotta talk about this. I gotta vent a little bit, because this is gross. It really is, and I really hope that Netflix, honestly, at this point in time, I hope these people that work on these shows just get fired. I know that's cruel to say, probably, and calloused maybe, but I really hope these people that do this type of stuff just get fired and never get to work in the industry again, because they are just ruining anything that legitimately harbors any form of love for people. That's what they do. They destroy everything they get their hands on and ruin it and run it into the ground to where people no longer even care about the source or the material anymore, because it's just so tarnished and destroyed. It's a distorted form of what it once was. That's exactly what this feels like. It's just like, how to showcase that you haven't seen the original source or respect the original source. This is so easy to see. But, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for being the bearer of bad news so early in the morning, but this kind of stuff, it really did piss me off.